got tweakers will play on some grass and dirt, but turn down the volume on Dick and Bird. Fuck Dick and Bird! Fuck Dick and Bird! St. Paul admitting the law and life, and hitting rock bottom, drugs in the ex-wife. Fuck Dick and Bird! Fuck Dick and Bird! Fuck Dick and Bird! Fuck Dick and Bird! Fuck shit.
Hello and welcome to this thing we call Minnesota Foul Play-by-Play. I'm your host, Anthony Variano. That's the sound of my co-host, Michael Haas. Mike, your bod doesn't sound so good.
It's weird that you get phlegm and stuff when you smoke as many cigarettes as I do.
Bradley, how are you doing?
It's the thuggish, ruggish bod. It's the thuggish, ruggish
We are
bod.
feeling very thuggish. Wow. I told you guys last night that the Wild are the last team in the playoffs playing anything close to goon hockey. And Goon Hockey won us a hockey game last night in maybe the biggest and grittiest win in franchise history. A double overtime win over the Dallas Stars, who were highly favored, and now suddenly the Minnesota Wild are favored, just slightly. But there's a big reason why. There's a lot to say about this game. Let's just get your guys' reactions first, because I've got a whole recap of it. So
Domination.
It wasn't domination. For the first two periods, it was domination.
How can you say
And then it was
wasn't?
domination by the Stars.
No,
Did you watch the
dominated.
fucking game?
So 9 seconds of game time for 2 penalties is the only time the Stars did anything.
Well, they possessed the
5-on-5
puck for
hockey.
much of the third period and all of the overtime periods.
Good goaltending. What wins in the playoffs?
Both goaltenders were outstanding.
100%. But honestly, I didn't think it would even be that close, to tell you the truth.
You thought the Wild were going to run away with it?
No, I thought that the Stars would run away with it.
Yeah, that's what everybody thought. The Wild, they proved that style of hockey still plays in the playoffs, man. That grit, their whole motto this playoffs is grit first. And that's what I love about this team so much. Like, it reminds me a lot of this guy right here, Tom Kelly. The grit in that man's face is what I see in every face of Minnesota Wild. Even Brock Faber, my God, man, saved the game for us yesterday with a block shot. The man skated 18 minutes in his third ever NHL game, which is his first NHL playoff game, and was freaking fantastic. Took on two Dallas Stars multiple times in the boards and possessed the puck and managed to pass it to a teammate. Mike, go.
All I can compare that to, fucking perfect hockey game, though.
Oh, it was so fun to watch.
And that's why I like my brother's enthusiasm, but I'm sore. Going into the first overtime, then the second one, we were fucking gassed. And I was like, there is no way we could win this game.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, I told you, I texted you as early before the second overtime even started. I was like, this should be a short overtime period. We haven't possessed the puck for 20, 25, 30 minutes.
So my comparison, it's like watching a fucking goddamn Rocky Balboa fight.
Yeah.
Where you're just like,
one punch.
Fucking heart and grit is what got the fucking win.
I'm going to disagree, though. Look at the shots.
Did you watch the second? You were probably asleep because you weren't texting.
Yeah. Where were you, man?
I was laying in my bed watching the game, having a beer. What I'm saying is,
passed out.
Look at the shots on goal.
Dallas ended up taking over. They won the shots on goal. It was they won by 4 or 5, 50-42. Or no, that's hits. Sorry. Okay, let's just go through this little run through. So you all have the stats.
Hits are different though, because they're playing in Dallas, so they're going to give them a little bit more hits than they.
Also, it doesn't matter how many you have, but how hard you deliver.
And Tony, just a sec before you get into your breakdown. If my brother was actually awake for the second overtime, which I don't think he was,
I doubt it too.
I'll take that
Luck
bet.
was on our side too.
Who you got
that
as a goddamn witness to confirm?
That Luck was
Chief?
on our side. Fucking that
Chief,
stop
come here.
our
Come here.
goalie where he didn't see it and it hit his
Come on,
fucking the
come
top of his stick.
Oh my God,
That
he
should have
had
been a goal,
Here.
man.
three times in the overtime. Was that just this all in the second overtime? 3 times it looked like they had it won on us. And
Open net. There's an open
Wide
net
open.
and fucking they either shoot high or just some
Hey,
miraculous
puck
luck.
luck. That's what happens to teams who play defense this good as they
So
get puck
miraculously,
luck.
in regulation, we missed those same shots. The game actually shouldn't have went to freaking
Off the
overtime.
post. You're right. We hit a couple posts.
So what I'm saying is, overtime is irrelevant. The best thing that happened, though,
was we
that
won
the
2
Wild-
out of 3 periods.
no, that the Wild actually won. It would have been
I
such
don't
a
know. I don't think they had to win that game in order to. I mean, I think there would have been exhausted.
It's a
I don't agree with my
demoralizing.
brother.
Really?
It's a demoralizing loss if they lose that game. With
I don't
how
think it's
well they
demoralizing at all. I think it's uplifting for this team specifically. I think it's like, well, we just went out there without
Time out.
Joel Eriksson on the faceoff dot. Hardly
I
could
am-
win a faceoff in the last fucking.
I'm going to
60
say
minutes.
right now, if they don't win that game, they lose in 4. I think the whole
they wouldn't
tide
get
just
swept.
changed.
You're going to win.
The
one
whole
game.
tide changed.
That they play so great at home too, Brad.
I bet you
agree with my
they
brother,
sweep
though.
the
I think
Stars.
this thing's going 6 regardless
I'll
of
bet
how
you
the
not.
first game goes.
I'll bet you, Tony. The Stars are.
How can you bet me? The goddamn game's over. It happened, and we can't go back in time.
What
Brad.
what I'm saying, I'm not.
Marty
I'm going
McFly.
to bet you that. I bet you the Stars, if they're lucky, they win 1 game. If not, the Stars are done. The Stars are done because of what the game happened last night.
Our biggest pain in the ass ain't even on the ice. And the Dallas Stars obviously struggled with our pains in the asses, which we have plenty. Yeah.
The series is over. It's over.
No. You don't think the Wild just won the series in game 1?
100%. 100%.
I disagree. I think it's I might disagree. I think this is going at least 6 or 7. I think
it was going 6 or 7 from the start. It's going to be a hard-fought series. It's going to be the most physical series of all the playoff series.
I think it's going to be the best fucking series out of this round to watch. It's
absolutely.
Last night's fucking game was. I mean, that's perfect hockey. Just fucking blood and guts and fucking.
You could see the goddamn guys in the intermission reports salivating at this game. Like they were like so happy to have this game go to double overtime.
Before anybody says anything, though, what I'm trying to say is, how do you come back? If the Wild lose that game last night, how do you come back?
You had Joel Eriksson after the faceoff dot and win more faceoffs and 9 shots on net.
9 seconds of game time is how they got 2 goals.
And they just lost their top winger on the fucking power play, Brad, for the entire series.
My thing is
Pavelski.
talent will get them back in this fucking series. I disagree with Tony's assessment that we won fucking 2 to the 3 periods. I think we won 1.5. I think the middle of the second period, you could start seeing us fucking kind of tally off. And then third period, I'm sorry, we fucking lost to the Stars. And we lost to the Stars in fucking overtime, too. We just fucking we scored that goal. It was just
Sam Steele's breakaway changed the entire complexion of the game. Yeah. When you put top shot. Oh, God, Sam Steele, that guy could skate, huh?
But
he's pretty fast.
You got to give it up. You got to give it up to the team. Just defense and grit. I mean, I don't know what other word describes this game other than grit. I mean, it was like
let's talk about how gritty this game was. Okay, the Wild won hardly any statistical category except the one thing I said we were good at, blocking shots, 30-23. They lost 56.5% of the face-offs. That was going to happen. Dallas is the best face-off team in the NHL. But we were missing our top face-off man in Joel Eriksson Ek as well. So that's going to level off. And face-offs, I've mentioned this in the Gopher National Championship game, how important it is in tournament hockey to have face-off specialists on that face-off dot. Because possession matters so fucking much in that sport. You saw how quickly Dallas scored off of face-off wins. If you can win a face-off clean and get it to a guy, everyone's out of position off the face-off dot. The only person between you and the fucking back of the net is the goalie. So you got one man to beat. That's the best shot you're going to get. And Dallas got 2 of them in 9 seconds yesterday. Yet, the Wild managed to win the game. I still think the Wild won the first 2 periods overall. despite allowing the 2 power play goals in 9 seconds. But the more important thing was they were the better even strength team, regardless, in the first 2 periods. And that's the most important thing is like when they had their legs, they were better 5-on-5 and 4-on-4. So there's that. My analysis is spot on. I mean, I gotta take a victory lap because I nailed this. I said exactly what they had to do in order to win, and they did exactly what they had to do in order to win, except for stay out of the penalty box. They took one too many penalties against a really, really good power play, as indicated by their 2 goals in 9 seconds. Although they did shut down every power play they had after that, which was, I think, 3 straight. The Wild had fewer hits, but they delivered the harder ones. Now, enter Matt Dumba.
No, all I want to say is, to me, he's the fucking player of the game last night.
Absolutely.
What, from fucking puck drop to finish, that fucker was so imperative in us winning, and it's just more than just that one hit.
Oh, it's the possession. It's just getting shots on goal. It's holding the line,
keeping control of the fucking ice. I mean, he played,
which he hasn't done in the past.
Well, this is the first postseason he's entered healthy in quite some time, and he's in a contract year. He might be probably is playing his last games in a Wild sweater. And to see him not only deliver what was a clean hit, and even social media everywhere is calling it clean, that's playoff hockey. Those are most of the comments that I read. And I'm pretty sure the concussion was not caused by his stick to the face, but his head to the ice.
Fucking head bounced off the ice hard.
So, Joe Pavelski has a history of concussions. This is probably going to miss the rest of the series. And that is a huge, huge loss for Dallas, which is exactly why Wild are now the favorites in that series. But, again, Matt Dumba, his response to the question of, basically every Stars player coming after him for the rest of this series, so be it.
And you saw when you just looked in his fucking eyes throughout the game too, even after that big hit and they were coming after him, just the confidence where it's almost like a fucking, like a closing pitcher or somewhere. It's just like, fucking bring it. Let's go. Fucking bring it. I brought it. Now you fucking bring it.
He also knows he's got the best bunch of goons behind him. If there were going to be a series, they don't want fighting in the playoffs. The NHL doesn't, which is why you don't see that shit on TV in the playoffs, which is, I don't know if I think it's probably a good thing, but both those teams wanted to go yesterday.
It fucking got close multiple times last night.
Yeah.
Well, shit, it did. It happened after that fucking hit.
It really did. Yes, there weren't straight up fights though. It was guys hitting people who were. Matt Dumba was basically on the ground in the fetal position, taking shots to the head. But that did result in the penalty. And they think they got it right. I think they got it right. You call the 5-minute major review it. You make it 2 because it was shoulder to shoulder. I'm sorry. The stick got up high.
The NHL used the replay perfectly last night. Yeah. They upgraded the penalty to a 5-minute major.
So they could look at it.
And saw it.
And do you guys know that Pavelski is the one who took that hit? Did you see that? Pavelski is the one who took the hit. That is the reason why we have this. Because remember fucking Vegas, San Jose, when Vegas was on its way to the Stanley Cup in its first ever season, and fucking Pavelski takes a hit, and San Jose scores 3 goals on a power play on a 5-minute major because they couldn't review it. And that they won Game 7. Crazy.
No, and this is how every other sport should look at it. They used replay perfectly. Yeah. It goes against my conspiracy theories about how Vegas plays in with sports, because if Vegas wanted Dallas to win, that's a 5-minute fucking major then.
No. Maybe this is just for the NHL as well, because I get it. I'm one of these whiny fucking Twins fans. But I'm sorry, every time we send something to New York as a Twins fan, especially when we're playing the fucking Yankees, we're going to fucking lose that, and we lose it quick.
I can't believe the calls we got going for us yesterday. There was probably 2 penalties avoided by the Wild in overtime yesterday too.
And so I got to give the NHL and the fucking guys who reviewed that some fucking props, where you're like, They're playing down in Dallas. This is a huge fucking play.
Right.
And
You're going to be
Minnesota
hated
just
for
took
this
out,
call. Yeah.
took out one of their starting 5.
Matt Dumba did, man. They're like,
Yeah.
so be it. This is the
No,
right
it's
call.
just
We're
like-
going to take your shit the rest of the game. We don't care.
No, I can't.
The analysis on the hit was absolutely perfect too. If you slowed it down, it looked like a vicious hit. But if you ran it at game time,
The puck
You
wasn't even
can't
that far
tell-
gone at full speed.
so I mean that's the thing. At full speed, they didn't.
And Pavelski's
absolutely
moving into
break.
him. All Dumba's doing is holding his fucking ground. Like, that's
They got it right though. Like Dumba deserved a penalty.
absolutely. His stick got
But-
up in his face.
Yep.
That's a penalty every time.
Yeah.
And if you want to call interference, I wouldn't even be mad about that because the puck is gone. But I mean, Pavelski's the one moving, not Dumba. And Dumba came off his skates, but that's what happens when a 280-pound man comes into you on his skates. Like, you leave your feet sometimes. They're big boys.
No, that's. I mean, as a Wild fan, it sucks when you see somebody get injured. But obviously, that does give Minnesota a benefit having him out.
Sure
Does it?
does.
Does it
Yeah,
suck when
absolutely.
somebody gets injured?
Yeah, it does. I mean,
Don't tell me. Don't tell
the
me. when-
Stars fans will hold it up. Well, we didn't have Pavelski, so yeah, you guys didn't really win the series. You didn't have us at our best.
disagree.
And then we would
disagree
just say,
with
well,
that.
we didn't have Julius Nex in that game, and we still managed to whoop your ass. So, yeah, I
They-
mean,
they won without.
it's part of the game. It's the most dangerous game.
It
They
is,
play
but
with
don't-
fucking goddamn weapons on their feet and
But
wearing
don't-
goddamn armor, for Christ's sake.
Don't tell me that you don't cheer when somebody gets hurt.
Oh,
I was
No,
standing
I
up
love the
cheering
head.
when
I didn't stay. I sat down as soon as I found out that he was concussed. Like, I know that's not good, and it's going to be
when
long-term
Anthony
damage.
Barr destroyed Brett Favre. I mean Aaron Rodgers. I was jumping for Jubilee because the Vikings have a chance to win the NFC North.
Yeah,
Like, don't tell me that you're not cheering a little
but
bit.
that's not a head injury, was it? That was an ankle or something, or a
I don't
collarbone.
care.
It was a collarbone. It's
I
different.
will
Do we
agree
not-
with
It's
you.
different when
Do we
it's,
know-
you got to value the organs differently. The heart and the brain are the two things that
Do we
matter
not
most.
I
The
cheer
rest
know,
is
when-
just
I do agree with Brad. Brad's
we not
trying
cheer?
to placate to shit. Watching Rodgers get hurt, I'm not gonna lie. I fucking love it because I fucking hate him. Like,
I hate him now too. He
and
is
that's the wrong thing to say because you shouldn't want anybody to get injured.
I want.
But I'm not gonna lie. When Barr gave him that fucking hit and he did not get up,
Oh,
you're goddamn right.
I want Ryan Reeves to knock Ryan Suter fucking out. Like, just out cold. Ryan
I think-
Suter has a history of being a diabolical motherfucker. And he tried to hurt Kirill Kaprizov twice yesterday. And we were going to call it either way. I know. The guy's dirty. And nobody likes him. And I wouldn't mind seeing Ryan Reeves get a one-game suspension for fucking knocking him out cold.
He's
Oh,
gonna. I got a feeling he's gonna be on the fucking ice a lot.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
Ryan Suter is he's what he was most known for was his minutes, his ice time. He skated like 28 goddamn minutes a night, it seemed like. I'm sure he's not doing that anymore. He's getting up there in age, but that's enough about go ahead, sorry.
no, that you already brought him up, but the second one, right in front of the fucking net. Give me a fucking break. How you don't call that? Like,
Yeah. No, and he got him just like Johansson took that shot in Winnipeg, right between the pads on the ribs.
no
where
chicken
there's no
shit.
padding
Just
whatsoever.
fucking chicken
really is.
shit.
Yeah, super is. Yeah, he's a bad man. Somebody ought to put him in his place. Anywho, we possessed the puck for almost 2 periods. Resulted in penalties 4. That's what happens when you possess the puck. We were volume shooters for the first 2 periods. We outshot Dallas by a lot, and then Dallas ended up catching up. I think we were the better team in even strength until the third period, and we were noticeably exhausted in the third period overtime and second overtime, which is to be expected. Okay.
Do you know
Now we
what?
gotta-
You know
now
what?
we-
You
go
know
ahead.
what breaks that though? Winning. Winning takes that exhaustion out. The exhaustion out
I
that
still think
Dallas
they're going to
got-
have a hangover on, tomorrow.
We need to give
I
a
don't
fucking toast to fucking Gustafson too. He made one mistake, I think, last night.
Philip
The second
Gustafson,
goal he gave up, that's one you got to stop.
but he was on
fucking-
point after that, wasn't he? The guy, that's
Fucking
what I love the
goddamn.
most about him. The guy rebounds better than anybody I think I've seen in the sport. Like, he just is. I read the athletic story about him today about how he just went in after the second period and have a mental reset. And I'd never seen anybody so calm and cool in the net in my life. Like
what I in overtime.
I know
in fucking overtime. I'm just like,
but I mean, what can you do?
Stars were attacking for fucking 20 straight minutes.
Yeah,
and the fucker's not even phased.
Yeah,
it's just
what I read about him is he's like a stick figure though in the net. He doesn't show a lot of stuff. He's just does his things.
He gets in the way.
Marc-Andre Fleury, though, is like the flashy guy. He's out there moving around, doing all this bullshit and whatnot.
He's a lot smaller also, so he has to play further away from the net to cut down on the angles. That's why he has to catch things behind him all the time. But I texted you guys yesterday. I thought it was interesting that the 38-year-old man plays like a young athletic cat, and the 24-year-old man plays like an old veteran cat, an alley cat. Yeah. Just kind of, I'll get there when I get there. Oh yeah, got there. He was fantastic. That's the most franchise saves in history in a playoff game for the Wild. 51. So you add that up. You add that up to 51 shots. That's a lot of shots, man. And that's after 30 blocks. We had 30 block shots in that game, which means fucking Dallas probably shot the puck 85 plus times.
Fucking who's the fucking goddamn rook who came up with that huge fucking save?
Fucking Brock Faber from the University of Minnesota, baby. That's who it was. Potential replacement, not the potential replacement, the probable replacement for Matt Dumba already in his third NHL game.
And honestly, if he doesn't make that save, the series is done. I don't think the Wild might steal one game.
No, I think you're underestimating them at home.
No, I really think as much as we left on the ice, we had to win that game. I do agree with Brad on that.
The ones that went to the second overtime, I was feeling real bad about the series. I was.
Me too. That's the thing. You played this well, and you should win the game possibly. And if you don't win the game,
they played damn near perfect. Foligno took one penalty that shouldn't have been taken, and Spurgeon took one penalty.
So that's what I'm saying, Tony. Relate this to tennis. You play a perfect tennis match.
No one's ever done that, Brad.
I'm just hypothetically. You do, and you lose.
You feel like you do. I understand. Yeah, it hurts.
And then you come back the next day, you ain't
play like
shit,
up like
you were.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry.
You both.
To me,
the
series is over. Right. The Wild are moving on.
Yeah, wow. You both are fucking absolutely right though. That watching the game when Spurgeon got that fucking penalty, I thought that was the game
over.
I'm like, we can't lose Spurgeon for 2 minutes.
No.
And they're gonna they're gonna get more goals off power play. They have to because they're just more talented than we are.
And then Gustafsson said,
no,
no thanks. We're gonna win this fucking game. God, he made outstanding stops to save the game late. He was cool. He was calm. I think it rubs off on the entire team because they play different in front of him. Nobody is, scared of losing. They just stick at it, stay at it. We already talked about Brock Faber and how great he was.
I want to say one thing about Kaprizov. It's nice to see him get in on shit as your franchise player. Did you see when they were going after Dumba and he dropped the gloves and he gets right on top?
Well, I don't think he dropped the gloves. They might have come off, but there's no dropping the gloves in the playoffs.
Watch the replay. He put them off. He was ready. I don't know if he would have fought, but
everybody knows it's an unwritten rule. You don't fight in the playoffs. You can't afford to lose Kirill Kaprizov for a game suspension for fighting.
Okay. Here's a little Twins update right here. Top of the 10th, bases loaded, no outs. Byron Buxton up to the plate.
I wonder what he does.
Fucking son of a bitch.
He's already done the hardest thing in his plate appearance, which is walking up the 4 steps out of the dugout.
What's he batting tonight?
Where is he batting in the lineup?
Yeah.
Third.
Yeah. Well,
who's after him?
I think maybe
it'll be Larnach.
Oh, Larnach.
Or no, Miranda then Larnach.
How many outs?
We didn't even talk about the goddamn game-winning goal by a hobbled Ryan Hartman, who I was wondering, even if he was a goddamn top line center, this guy could play for me any day, anytime. Fuck yeah, I love that guy. What a gamer.
No, I'm just saying, because you start getting fucking exhausted. That overtime was exhausting to watch.
I was tired. Just think how they feel after skating for 30 minutes.
But then the way the puck just squirted right in front of the goal, and he comes behind the goal, and I'm like,
puck luck.
He could just flip it up, and he does, and you're like, motherfucker!
No, it is puck luck, but it's also
a giveaway.
It's a puck luck and a puck giveaway. On the board. And what do? You put it towards the middle.
Yeah.
And he got it on his, what do you call it? Your strong
side. He followed the play behind the net, and it was right there for him. Took a nice little hop off the kick plate. Sometimes those kick plates, if they're recently replaced, they get a lot of bounce in them. So that thing fucking flew to his stick, and it was easy pickings after that. But that's your forecheck getting pressure on the puck to force that giveaway. That's a play. That's not, puck luck. It might have been puck luck after the giveaway, but you still got to force it off the stick. And sometimes you get the bounces, and we got a bounce. And it was probably the biggest bounce in the NHL playoffs. It might be the biggest bounce. I mean, like you say, Brad, this series is over. The Wild are moving on. So, but they are about to get they're about to get their best face-off specialist back, Joel Eriksson-Ek. We must have scored.
RBI. Nice job, Buck.
That fly?
No, because that seemed like the only fucking shot on goal we fucking made in the second fucking overtime. It seemed like, that was deep into the second overtime.
We were in our end for the last 20 minutes. I was surprised to even be on the end. I was like, it's on its stick. Oh, I was losing my fucking mind because it was 1 o'clock in the morning and I knew I had to go into work today. I called in with a hockey hangover. I was like, I'm working from home. I'm sorry. I'm going to need a nap at lunchtime.
I tell you what,
man, it's going to be a long goddamn.
If fucking your boy Tony fucking Miranda hits a fucking home run, I am fucking taking.
He's not
my
boy. I told you, Michael A. Taylor's my guy. He's my bum.
If this guy hits a home run, I'm going fucking ballistic right now.
You just see that he was behind it, but he barreled that one.
I've got a huge bet on him right now.
All right. Well, now that we've talked about one Minnesota playoff team, let's talk about the other. This won't take long. The Timberwolves will be swept.
Oh.
And not in a gentlemanly fashion. They lost game 1 by 29. It was never close after the first quarter. They couldn't hit shots for shit. They shot 37%. This is from one of the teams that's one of the best shooting teams in the NBA. So it's surprising that they do 37% from the floor, 30% from three-point range, and 56% from the charity stripe. Good God, guys.
And did you know that throughout the season, they take the second most free throws in the league?
And they missed probably the most.
That's I'm saying, Brad, your daughter's traveling basketball team fucking shoots better than that.
Yeah, probably. Probably almost any goddamn high school basketball team shoots 75% or 70%. So, I mean, even if Denver decides to take a night off, the Nuggets should probably still win in 4. This thing it's kind of just ridiculous.
Over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think probably Oklahoma City would have had a better chance against these guys than us.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
But I mean,
did you see Miranda? Miranda missed a fucking fastball right down the middle of the zone. He fell over swinging.
At least he's putting in the effort. All right, let's get to baseball since you guys are already on baseball. El Caballo! Cuatro años!
That, not going to lie, that news wasn't as powerful as the Correa signing in the offseason.
It feels good.
But talk about a follow-up where it's just like, we've got fucking a 4-year window now.
10-minute warning.
A 4-year window of what? Can I
bring it competitive?
Yeah. We're not talking about
competitive. Year in, year out.
We're talking about Pablo Lopez and his new 4-year, $73.5 million deal with the Minnesota Twins.
Decent.
An extension. Bargain price for someone of his caliber. We like to call him El Caballo because he's the only horse we got. And we ride him.
Here's my thing. People are jacking off because we took 2 out of 4 out of the Yankees in fucking April. Well, who gives a shit? Like, for your real fans, like, come on, man. Like, let's see what we do in October.
I would classify Mike as a pretty real fan. He cares about these games in April.
Yeah. Let's see.
What?
Have you ever
my
seen
thing is, why did
the
we
Twins
wait
made
till
the
close?
playoffs in game 163, for Christ's sake? Every single
These
one of these
fucking
matters.
games count just as much as the games count in September.
They do. And
So
you know
steal
what?
as many
We're going to
wins.
be done with New York before April's over. So all of these games are pretty damn important.
No,
it doesn't matter if we beat New York in April. We're not going to beat them in October.
Well, it'd be nice to
we'll
have a
see.
tiebreaker if you end up tied with them and you get a home field advantage because you beat them in the regular season.
I don't think home field advantage matters when you play the Yankees in the postseason.
You don't think it matters that our guys who can't hit get to hit in a goddamn tin can for 4 games? I think it matters a lot.
It's gonna if we can have a home field advantage in the playoffs against the Yankees, that's huge for us.
Yeah, I mean, just one game at home. That's the thing is you avoid the start in the Bronx, right?
No, I hate watching baseball in the Bronx. It's fucking garbage pot flies that just fucking fall into the first row. 320-foot home runs. Yippee!
Whee!
Like,
yay!
Fucking Monta a Caballo is what I gotta say to that.
And ride the horse, baby. We're gonna ride Pablo Lopez all the way to.
I'm just, Brad, your cynicism towards the Twins needs to stop. I expect it from Tony, but just you gotta stop. We've got pitching. We have no offense, which fucking sucks. But we're winning games with no offense, which has not happened in Minnesota in a long time.
We got Joey Gallo, the strikeout king, coming up. So, those strikeouts should go up quite a bit. Hopefully, Jorge Polanco can hit the ball when he gets here. Ojos abiertos, as we like to call them. Wide eyes.
Yeah. Actually, can we just do a minute and a half of fucking Minnesota Vikings football? Because I got one guy, just straight emotions I want to talk about.
All right.
Danielle Hunter, fucking trade his ass. I want him out of a Vikings uniform. Get something for him.
Why?
Fucking.
What do you do?
He's not going to be. He fucking another contract fucking year. Fucker doesn't want to play. Fucking trade him for like a first round pick.
He's not going to voluntary workouts because he doesn't. He's only getting paid $5 million this year. Well, fucking do something.
I wouldn't go to him either. Would you guys go to him? Fuck no.
No, of course I fucking wouldn't go to him. But I'm getting sick where it's just like you structured this contract. Well, then don't structure the contract this fucking way.
Oh yeah, you do have some education in contract law. It is kind of like this is what you agreed to, sir. I'm sorry,
but it's my thing is we're not.
Field.
He had what? 8.5 fucking sacks last year.
What?
He had what? 8.5 sacks last year. I mean, it's not like he fucking dominated. So yeah, but no. Just a quick Viking shit. If we're gonna do the type of shit where we feel that our management is so good now that we can just release players that are on contract, I'm blown away. If we think that we can just say, "Hey, Dalvin Cook, we're gonna fucking release you,"
I thought he was gonna be traded to Miami. What the hell is happening there?
Word is now that we're just gonna fucking release his ass.
Wow.
And let him go do his thing. I mean,
holy cow. That's
I could see it. I can see if he's at the end of his career and he wants to go somewhere else, fine.
It's amazing that you can't get anything for him, though. No, if they could get something for him that was worth anything, they would have traded him.
Why would anybody want to trade for him now when they say that they're going to fucking release him?
Because it's the most disposable position, and he's got a lot of
I'm saying
contract.
Minnesota mismanaged this fucking situation. My thing is they needed to move him before they re-signed fucking Madison. I understand you're playing with dates where you have to have people re-sign.
Oh, yeah.
Once we re-signed Madison, the writing was on the wall.
Yeah.
Madison has made it clear he doesn't want to be a number 2 back anymore. And fucking Cook gets paid too much money. So
which is exactly why he has no value. Which is why you have to release him.
He had more value before they signed Madison. And
but then
they're willing to release
risk losing Madison too. That's the thing is like they had to make a decision one way or the other. And
bullshit. That's what agents fucking are for. Where it's just okay, we've got to because they waited to the last day to sign him anyway. So it's just like I don't know.
If Madison signed a very team friendly deal, he probably could have got some more money out
somewhere else.
I'm just saying, as a Twins fan, the off seasons are fun with the Twins because it's like, fuck yeah, we got Correa, baby.
Yeah, popping a cork with Correa, baby.
Oh, you
The
see the
Vikings,
Twins
it's just
right
like,
now
which Pro
striking out
Bowlers
the
are we going to
guy.
lose tomorrow? Which Pro Bowler can we lose tomorrow?
How can we get rid of this massive contract? How are we going to pay Justin Jefferson, the best player that we have?
Hey, at least the Vikings win playoff games. That's all I gotta say.
Something the Timberwolves ain't going to be doing. The Twins might be, though. And the Wild
Fuck you,
already have.
Christian Vasquez.
All right, let's talk a little bit more about the Twins. We've got 4 minutes left. Twins and TicketRev are going to allow fans to name their price. Twins invested $1.1 million in the startup and is investigating a partnership to sell unsold tickets via online auction. I love this idea. I just downloaded the app today. It looks pretty cool. Basically, it's like eBay. You put in a number, and they give you kind of an idea of what would be a good bid. And and then if you win the auction, you get the tickets, and you get a discount on seats that go unsold to many seats that go unsold to Major League Baseball games. Apparently, this is from The Athletic. I don't know if the Twins are the only team that are working with TicketRev, but
so to make things clear, Tony, it's from the Twins themselves. The Twins are selling the tickets, not
right. They're not secondhand or
so they're basically
tickets.
following.
It's not like SeatGeek or Ticketmaster or any other. These are seats that the ballpark itself never sold. So they won't be the best seats in a house, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of good ones.
For dirt cheap, I bet.
Yeah. And it's money that Major League Baseball is otherwise not going to get because, those tickets just go unsold. And even if people don't show up, if they win the ticket, it's still something they can add to their attendance numbers.
That's another thing. Like, you see it like with fucking artists like Taylor Swift or whatever with all the Ticketmaster bullshit. It would be nice. I'm not going to lie. I used to like buying tickets from an actual human being scalper.
Right.
Because you could fucking deal and deal. But if it's just going to be Ticketmaster and these fucking garbage agencies who just buy up all the premium seating, and then you look at a ballpark and it's just like
charge 40%.
I wish we could get rid of it where everything was through the
box office.
Through the box office, where it's like I'm going to show up to the game 5 minutes before the game. Give me the best seats you've got available.
You'd have to limit sales. People wouldn't be able to buy more than a certain number of tickets. That's the problem.
My thing is, why is scalping illegal?
Because it fucking provides no value to anybody.
Right. It's just a means
for Major League Sports and for every sporting event. I think it's okay. Let these idiots fucking buy them all up. If they don't sell them, what you get them for
free at the bar. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's my thing. Is like if they want to do that, fine, let them do it.
But when it comes to Taylor Swift, now you're talking about $1,000 seats that go for $300.
100%.
I know you're trying to take your kids to Taylor Swift.
No, so what I'm saying is let these idiots buy all these fucking tickets, and then when people don't want to pay that fucking money, guess what? They take a fucking loss on it.
People want to pay the money. For certain events, they do. They'll pay whatever. I tell you what, man, Swifties are crazy. We'll end it right there. Thank you for listening to Minnesota Foul Play-by-Play. I'm your host, Anthony Variano. Thank you to the brothers Haas, Bradley, and Michael for joining me. You can catch us at Minnesota Foul Play-by-Play on YouTube, at Minnesota Foul Play-by-Play on TikTok. And you can get our podcast at gogonzojournal.substack.com.
Twins are about ready to lose.
And wherever you get podcasts. Let's go Wild!
Hockey's getting wild this year.
Woo! Love you.
Love you too, son.